Ernie.
Did anybody get that?
Nobody.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Nathan got it. Okay, okay, wait. Ernie, play me a snippet. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pimp Your Drink. Lost in thought, what are you drinking?
What's left of it?
Talk instead of drinking.
See, I've told you guys before this. It's only 15 seconds long.
I know. What were you drinking?
It's a peach mango. What is this, Becca?
Strawberry banana peach mango smoothie.
What you said.
What'd you call me?
Exactly. And for me, I am drinking a good old-fashioned Mexican Coke down with high fructose corn syrup.
Corn chips.
Syrup.
Corn chips.
Drink sugar.
Frito-Lay flavored Coke.
Okay. It's like Coke flavored.
So, if you want to come up on stage, sing, dance, monologue,
what about my drink?
mime. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Bud Light.
Wow, good old-fashioned Bud Light.
And the occasional shot of Maker's Mark, which is pretty good. It's a little cheaper than Jack Daniels, and it's got quite a kick to it. I wasn't ready for that.
It's got the kick in the nuts that you need.
I just did a little shot. I was like, whoa!
Right.
I'm awake
All right,
now.
he's awake now. So if you want to come up on stage, sing, dance, act, monologue, whatever you want to do, strut your stuff. I'm still waiting for my first professional mime.
No.
Not you.
No, we don't want mimes. No mimes.
Because a mime is a terrible thing to waste.
Because they'll never go away.
Come over to Element 615, Lost in Thought, who's chugging the last of his smoothie, me, Hot Tamale, or Ernie B. Go over to Ernie B just so he can tell you.
Don't bother me.
Don't bother.
Give him your love. Give him a nice, creepy, space-invading hug.
No, I will electrocute you.
Okay, so who is starting the show?
I am.
Element 615, take it away. Okay, that was just wrong. I can't do this one-handed.
All right, clap if you sit next to someone beautiful.
That's what she said.
Hold on, stop. That was only 3 damn people. Shit.
Remember the audience.
I'm saying, clap if you were sitting next to someone beautiful. Even if you're by yourself, you always got your shadow. All right, let's go ahead and get this road on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, give it up for our jumper cables, the man of the hour, month, and year. Give it up for the coolest Gemini other than myself. Give it up for Time, Moon, Bird, and Company.
It's Derek T. Washington, the new man. Hey, you've been found inside a coffee shop, and that presumes you know a lot about freedom of speech and assembly. I wouldn't just sit there if I were you. I'd get up on the stage too, because we have an extra mic, you see. Plug that man in to the present moment. Not talking about the past that you used to live inside, because the past will not allow you to hide anymore. You gotta be yourself. In public, you're sure this is the time when you can show your power. I know we bow down hour after hour to those in authority, I suppose, who are telling you and me we got no rights for freedom of speech and assembly. That don't appeal to me. Does that appeal to you? Even the laptop nods his head and said no, that they just don't do. Every night of the week we seek a sanctuary, a space where we can be ourselves, a place we can let our own selves around, perambulate. I tell you, we have found closed doors, closed minds, shut down all the time. They say no, you can't be free. You can be free, but not with me. I'm sorry, this is freedom of speech and assembly. Even if you only came to purchase something, this is your space to be for what we believe in. You don't have to believe a word, but I'm not the only one who's absurd. Surreal as penguins fly within your mind. Let the imagination out, you will find you can be exactly who you wish to be. You can feel exactly what you want to feel. You can spread the ideas if they really want to spread the ideas. Whatever it is, you can find it random and impossible. It's just the beginning of all. Throw away your laptop, throw away your iPhone. Now we're all talking to the human beings. Thank you. Response is everything. All the rest is history. Do you remember history? You don't need to remember history. They said we are history. Poetry is history. history. Freedom of speech is history. Freedom of assembly is history. Well, we are on the lip of the future. And we need every eye to sparkle, every smile to be wider, every heart to be huge. And I ain't talking to anyone but you, because you and you and you know it's true. And even if you demur from the present moment's gonna come and say, hey, we want you. And you know it's true. No one person can carry this evening. No one dream can carry your dreaming. All of us need each other to be exactly who we really would like to be. A projection of a hologram of a human being. 3-space 4G, you know the dream. Easy to be off the printed page. Here you are on an open stage. How can this be happening again on a Sunday evening, just when we had word jets the other day? Hey, this is not the only space. This is not the only place. That man there runs a poetry festival. It will be burning all over Austin. That man at the back gets people together. Artists and musicians, despite the weather, of coolness and disdain, cynical refrain, say, I can't, I won't, I won't be, I won't be. You can, and you are, and it's happening. You are stars, long distance, shining over time and space, illuminating everyone of what's left of the human race. That's your face. This is your voice I stole for a time. This evening is yours, it never was mine. This is just a picador, troubadour, opening up the open door to say, your time has come. Invitation, stage is open, come on up. You know what they want to hear, what you are, what you want to share. There's everything in here. Welcome to your evening, welcome to your dreaming. Spoken and heard, this is just the beginning. Dream the dream, share what you've got. What do you say? We want the lot.
Make some noise for time, ladies and gentlemen, in company. Alright, so just so you know, we've been doing this for about 6 or 7 years now. So that being said, whenever we have more than 2 or 3 musicians on the stage at once, they officially become the house band of spoken and heard, and otherwise known as the Airport Boulevard Experience. The band has held several incarnations. The reunion itself, we couldn't find a stage big enough to put everybody that's been in the damn band.
We're in contract
It's like
negotiations, right?
Earth, Wind, and Fire would look like a trio compared to them. MC Hammer didn't have as many band members on his stage. It's very plentiful. Very plentiful. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so you saw this woman singing and dancing on stage earlier. Now you get to hear some of her words. Please give it up. Coming up, no, you don't get to, no. Who said that? I didn't. She's gonna do some stuff. Singing. She's gonna kick out the jams. Right. And I'm gonna stop talking after this sentence and the name of the next performer. Give it up for Madeline, ladies and gentlemen.
There's something wrong with this microphone stand.
Anarchy in the UK?
Okay. Jack. Short. Slower. There you go. Yeah. Even slower. Sexy. Swanky. Yeah.
Sexy ukulele.
Lie with your pants on fire. White spade hanging on a telephone. combine. Doctor, lawyer, beggar, man, thief. Village, oh, remarkable, extraordinary disbelief. If you want to taste of madness, you have to wait in line. But I've seen someone you know on heart attack your mind. Bone is high on shine white, short and fat and don't you know there ain't no devil, there's just God when he's strong. Well, this stuff will probably kill you. Let's do another line. Could say you made me down on heart attack of mine. You see the little Jersey girl in the see-through top, smiling at you, sucking on a soda pop. Well, she says she's still a virgin, but it's still 25 till 9. You can see a million of them down on heart attack and mine. Better off an hour against your scrambled eggs than crawling down going on a broken pair of legs. You'll find your ignorance is blissful every goddamn time. Waiting for the RTD on heart attack and mine. Well, with your pants on fire. On this telephone wire, well, your ignorance is blissful every goddamn time. Waiting for the RTD on heart attack and mine. Doctor, lawyer, beggar, man, thief. Village, oh, remarkable, extraordinary disbelief. If you want a taste of madness, you have to wait in line. Privacy, someone you know on heart attack and Play it out, Andrew.
Give it up one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Man, Mr. Jack Henry, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't know if that was Janis Joplin or Robert Plant up there. Damn.
A little bit of both, along with Mr. Andrew Stone. Make some noise for him one more time, ladies and gentlemen, please. All right, and coming up next to the stage, this is one of our relatively new voices. I think this is his second or third time up here with us. I believe so. I believe so. Freddie, your second or third time here with us. Second, right. Okay, cool, cool. We ask that no matter how many times it's been, that it not be your last. Matter of fact, if this is your first time here, raise your hand. All right, so put your hands down, you fellow in the clever hat and yellow shirt. I'm on to your shenanigans. I need you to not shenanigan. Put your, see what I did there? Both of you two weirdos, put your hands down. I know both of you weirdos. What we like about our spot is that it's not our spot. As soon as you walk through the door for the first time, this literally became yours. So as soon as you walk through that door, you gave up the right to say that from 7 to 10, I got nowhere to go where I can just chill and be me. You gave up the right to say that, because this is yours from now on. So whether or not you get on the microphone and do the robot, I'm just playing.
You have the right.
No, you will not. You will go.
You asked for it.
Oh my God. That's not even the robot. That's a cardboard box being blown along by the wind. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Frederick coming to the stage.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a good time. I want to let you know before I get started that last week was just awesome. It was my first time on the stage. It's been my dream, and you guys helped me live that out. I appreciate it, and I've been really excited waiting for this week to come up. I have two pieces that I'd like to share with you. The first one is called Made Over. Excuse me. Higher the mountains, ego transcends unto foolishness. Harsh be the depths of valley, low esteem abounds. Man's craftiness a tower, babbling soundlessly confessed. Self-righteousness but witchcraft before the Lord professed. Trials and tribulation, faith's course for me. Before my God's throne, our Savior's blood be redemption's diplomacy. Freedom transformed into a claustrophobic enemy. Fantasy, a detriment to me. All that I may see faithfully, all that Christ had done for me. Downtrodden, bearing the weight of lies, societal rebelliousness reflective of my inner child who cries. Justice, justice, my hope idealized. Oppressed with the molestation of guilt paralyzed, this tent morphed paramount to prison. Youth for dereliction compelled by alter ego's derision. Tempestuously, chest obsessed with death, along yet long gone. Leprous in attitude, thrust into the abyss, alone. Oh, that my God would redeem me. Hear my cry, Lord, I'm dirty, unclean. Could you want me? His response, that of a prodigal's father who has watched and waited patiently. Your son, I want thee. You are me. You are why I sacrificed my son on Calvary. Thank you very much. The next one is Alone at Night. And I have to tell you, as a preface, that I primarily write not just out of my joy, but a lot of times out of my pain, because sometimes verbally I don't know how to express myself. Although as a salesperson I can talk to you about pretty much anything, but when it comes to talking to you about me, this is probably the closest you'll get to what's really reflected in the mirror. Alone at night. Majestic are his works through my tragedies. You wish to come with me, but my island is far within. You cannot travel with me. Abandoned courage is summoned, belittled faith. This way, like Sinbad's journeys hold fears unknown and mythical creatures, imagination manifests. The seas are unkind, for her storms have drowned many a dream. I know they were mine. Hallways of doors and doors of hallways, which came first? How realistic their apparitions of bedsides awaken me. Breathless, powerless, will the nightmares torture. Slow motion, speedy escape, and up before predators. Screams echo unanswered, deaf ears deny. I know, don't cry. Stories, creatures that prey on adventurers. Belts, cords, fists, shoes, words, quickened by anger, drunken limp. Denial and fantasy conjure suffocation of reality. I know, a closed heart. Abandoned cause and effect. Islands occasionally visitation stimulated by coercion. Molested screams echo unanswered, deaf ears deny. I know, I'm done. Adultery's abstract wanting, winter's love. Isolated torrential showers of abuse, abused. Contempt, separation, cancerously divorced. I know, lost. Lost an identifiable carcass worth delineating. Desperations and memories grapple for today's personality. God intervenes by immutably testifying of his purpose. Waters recede, my island enlarged, my beliefs destiny. Majestic are his works through my tragedies. I know, I live through. Thank you.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Frederick, please. All right, so the list is starting to get full. Give it up for everybody you've heard so far, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so the list is getting pretty full, and last week we got so packed that a number of people actually didn't get a chance to read. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep it round robin as always here at Spoken and Heard, but for the
endless fries?
No, not endless fries. So in the interest of time, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do one piece at a time, and we're gonna bring you back up ASAP if you want to read again. Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
Did you know he was a last-minute replacement on that show, on The Warriors?
Really?
The guy who did that?
That was like one of the most epic damn speeches in...
Because they had a real gang member to do that part, but
Yeah.
the last minute he backed out because he was afraid of retaliation and stuff. So they found that guy at the last minute.
Has anybody... Raise your hand if you haven't seen The Warriors. Okay, the first step is forgiving yourself. Fix that problem. Secondly, it is the Cyrus's speech is one of the craziest. I don't want to give it right now because I might make y'all riot, and it'd be the worst thing in the world to get arrested for having a riot in a coffee shop where there's less than 40 damn people.
Hey,
You know?
any press is good press.
Right. So what we like to do the call and response thing because it's fun to see if y'all are awake and not asleep. So when I say, can you dig it? Well, it's okay that Mike's asleep. We can ignore him. When I say, can you dig it? Y'all say, we can dig it. And I'll be like, I knew that you could. Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
I knew that you could. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the next performer coming up to the stage. Make some noise for Scott.
Hey folks, glad you're here. I make everything up on the spot like I know a lot of people do, so sometimes it may take me a little while to get in the groove. If the groove goes on too long, feel free to hop up and say something. Okay, count. Is that me or you? Huh? We can play with it. Okay. Oh, it's because the chord's right on it. Here we go. There we go. We're getting to the chord. Hang on a second. Get it out of the way there. There we go. There we go.
That's right there. Oh, that's too much. I'll fix it.
I like it midway. What the hell? That's mine. Let's keep trying. This sound system is unforgiving, Jesus. In a room like this, full of so many dreamers and fantasies about peace and love and harmony, and it makes us wonder whether the whole world is just an optical illusion. All these bars and cafe shops and coffee mugs and cars going by. All these wars and strife and butterflies only hint at what's really lying behind everything. And you can let your mind wander and get lost in a song on the way home on a freeway. And something miraculous might happen. Like you see one man help another. And it just harkens back to cloudy days when What do you want to dream? You want to dream of wide open oceans and being on a boat where everybody's drinking margaritas and smoking J's? Or do you want to be on a park with a lover? I'm sure before the night is over, we'll hear so many dreams, we'll go home just dripping with them. Mine is that I'm not really here. This is just a crystal ball of what you want it to be. There is no me, there is no you, there is just peace and love. There's just a sound some way far off, like a song in the hills where a dove coos. Maybe it's our heartbeat. And I won't be the first person, and I won't be the last person to say this, but God, do I love that feeling. Of being here with you. Of being timeless and open, like a heart that's learning to love itself. Because when dreams are softly spoken, they aren't heard. You gotta let them go and shout them out and say everything is just a bird on the wings of a cloud at night in the moonlight. You gotta let them out and say there's a forest somewhere where not even the crickets are chirping. The moonlight's coming down. You gotta say things like there's a festival going on in my mind and 7 billion people are jumping up and dancing and the world's shaking. And even the mountains are crying out, please let it go on. You gotta hope that no string will ever break when you're singing your song. And at the end of it all, everybody loves you and it's just one big, huge embrace. I don't know about you, but this just isn't my song, it's everybody's. There ain't no one here, just a crystal ball looking into the world that's in the center of your heart, where all hands are holding one another and it just feels like a prayer going down. You know what I mean? God, I love this feeling. Peace.
Give it up one more time for Scott Vanier, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. All right, so the open mic list is still very much open. If you've got something to say, play, do, whatever, in keeping with the tradition, quote unquote, of speaking your mind ad nauseum, approach either myself, Lost in Thought, Ernie B, or Hot Tamale.
I would recommend going up to Lost in Thought, though.
Don't go up to Lost in Thought. Don't, unless you just don't want to remember anything that happens. Don't come anywhere near the stage. I will punch you in your soul. In your soul. You'll feel it. You'll feel it. There'll be swelling in your soul. Spiritual swelling in your soul. That's all y'all being bad. That's all y'all being bad. I started with the word spiritually. Y'all should feel guilty about that. Horrible.
I'd just like to say I'm here for technical support.
Whatever.
You just inflated the stage.
I'm not gonna blow this up any further than I already have. Give it up for David Lester Young coming to the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, poetry does hurt. I had an experience yesterday. I posted something on Facebook. Very much I'm liberal-minded, but I was posting, and some friends of mine who are lifelong friends, her and her daughter posted a few things, and I posted back. And then I had a person I graduated with, and I've known all these people for over 50 years. And a liberal and conservative went at each other. And what do you do? How do you take sides? Well, you can't. So I had one of them unfriend me, and she had her daughter, and she told her mother to unfriend me. And that daughter is my godchild. So tell me about hurt. But the other thing is, today I had a very conservative friend post me something about Hillary in a homeless attire, what called something about Benghazi. And I told him, I don't mind you posting it. I believe in free speech, but give me the right to express myself in my own way. It's a damn two-way street. We do not have to go around unfriending people just because they have a different opinion, especially after 50 years. So on that vein, I'm going to give you my Room 407 blues.
Yeah.
Oh, Austin, how I love your atmosphere, riding under flowing Colorado veins, in that heart that ripples alive Texas. Hear that live music resonate so pure, upon a roused magical finger vibration, stringing together the pure harmony of Texas, singing adrift Austin's Colorado love melody. One lives in his Austin Room 407, upon an inflated American dream 407, now sharing this Austin's dream reality of 407, where alas one lies fixed, broke on Social Security, with rising conservative value placed prices. This Vietnam veteran has many writing tribulation with these American Austin dream waiting blacklist, that one exists within these endless waiting line backlist, that one must try to get at Austin miracle subsidized housing, but I think one has to be at least 110 years young. Oh Austin, where art thou, poetic bungalow, where upon the Colorado full moon tide one can howl dynamic full of Texas tea, where upon midnight truce grit sailed upon the banks of the mystic Colorado one can vibrate the spectrum heart of Austin in the proud heartbeats called America, Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, Room 407, you are going up $20 a week, $80 a month to $14,600 a year to what I make in Social Security. That the retirement funds that I kept alive, that glimmer of hope, now need old Ben magnifying $100 spectacles. But alas, one feels truly homeless in America upon making sense out of free speech poetry that America could care less about. That after all, we are Rockefeller Foundations of America, having a half-dozen Romney tax-free mansion that one wishes they could hang alive in effigy upon a conservative Rothschild Van Gogh wall. But God forbid to be castrated conservative, preferring not to be a co-brother partition for billionaire bling pompous classes of America. Why write any free verse poetry when you know you are poetically powerless, that demagogues reign as America's Supreme Court with their wrath-righteous indignant judgments, wherein those nailed, bleeding, and living suicide struggles, one crawls up from the depths, despondence of woe, to face those wretched wrath of poetic imagination, to be proud within self-worth, smiles of accomplishment, even as small as they may seem to other BBB bigots. That like Maya Angelou and MLK's I Have a Dream, I have this Room 407 dream upon tears torn in faith, wherein one can imagine a fairy tale poetic bungalow, that small poetic shack gem full of heartmosphere, where one can give poetry, I have a dream, in 407 lessons.
Give it up for David noise, make some noise.
One of these days, when you say that, make some noise, I'm gonna throw like firecrackers out there or something.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next to the stage, you heard this cat earlier open up with the one and only Tom Unlimited. He just recently released the CD, and if he comes up on the stage and tells you he doesn't have any copies, all y'all make him a real sad face, but you make him feel guilty about that shit. You know what I'm saying? An MP3 is something, an ebook. I don't know. You can't listen to an ebook. That's impossible. That's against the laws of physics. Give it up for Andrew Stone coming to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen.
Last week I was here, a bunch of people asked me if I take card, and I only took cash last week, but as of today I got the swipe thing, so I take card, so this is them, Angels of Mercy, yeah.
Sign me up.
This is, I'm going to do, Tom's been always challenging me to do new stuff, so these chords I made up about an hour ago, so we're going to do this. Thanks for hanging out.
8 songs, $8. Get that CD, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Mr. Andrew Stowe. All right. Are we having a good time, ladies and gentlemen? Don't just say that because we cool. Are we having a good time, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I am so very glad y'all are here. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. I had to practice that, the baritone. I knew that you could. It's like kind of, I knew that you could. That's kind of creepy. It's kind of like, I knew that you could. That's not too dark alley, is it? You don't want to go dark alley. You don't want to go press charges. You don't want, huh?
It's like,
Jules is coming up next as soon as humanly possible in the interest of time, because we have to keep the open mic going. Thank you very much, Tom Moonbird. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the next poet coming up to the stage. Make some noise for Jules.
so I completely understood what the poet was saying earlier about writing from emotion. That's like mostly what I do. This is new. It doesn't really have a title. I'm not sure if it's finished yet, but
Did you say the poem was new?
it's brand new.
New shit.
Y'all were so enthusiastic about it.
It was awkward. I didn't know who else was going to
New shit.
We try this again. I just finished writing this.
say it. Way too ambient.
Very unorganized.
Okay, one more time. Hey, is that new shit? Shut up, Mike. Too early. You gotta come with it. You gotta time it.
Okay, wait, let's start this whole thing all over again.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jules.
So yeah, so this is a new poem. Thank you. I want to hate you, want to despise everything about you, to smother the flames of love that still burn so intensely. I need to hate you for every time you did me wrong, for every cold shoulder, unanswered call or text, for every time you disrespected me, let me down. Each piece of me that you crumpled up and discarded, every gift you didn't appreciate. My time, my love, my heart, my body, the house I made a home, for the times you left me there all alone. I have to hate you. I have to stop these pains of hope that my heart still clings to. See, my eyes search for you around every corner. My ears still seek the cadence of your heartbeat. I jump at every creak and moan of our settling home. I long to hear your key in the door, to see you smile once more. Who am I kidding? I want to wake to your touch every day. I want to taste the salt of your skin. I want to laugh over breakfast and hug you at the end of each workday. So you see, I have to hate you because it's the only way to destroy my hope, to release my dreams of you and me and a future that I fear will never be. Hating you is the only way that I can remember to start loving me.
Give it up for Jules one more time, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So again, the open mic list is still open. Approach either one of us if you want to get on. The list is filling up, so we want to try to get everybody up here ASAP. In the meantime, this next poet coming up to the stage, some of you may have heard him before. If you have, that's okay, I guess. Whatever. This next poet coming up is one member of the hosting amalgam machine that you see up here at Spoken and Heard, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for my very good friend and yours, Mr. Lost and Thought.
Looking very confused. Because I'm choosing something right now. Great shoesies.
Like Jif?
Oh yeah, that's right. That is commercial, isn't it?
Thank you.
Okay. Old shit.
Oh, shit. Right, just
Okay, get it. The red-plated bell shatters inside its two short gasps, ringing from inside its gaping mouth as the bulbous hammer slams its side. Light bulbs flash in the dark and crinkle like paper as they dissipate, shadowing an unrelenting light on the spit and sweat that breaks away from battered flesh and spills open on the uplifted ground. Hands suffocate in claustrophobic glove space, the palms licking salted tears branching off into withered and aged folds, crushing bone and knuckle, digging deeper in the rounded contour wrapped around their wrists, sealed with tireless string, exhausting its weight inside loops that crack forward like broken ribs. The stressed horsepower of leg muscle bite into the knees as feet continuously switch gears, toenails bending their backs against the dried-up leather of old shoes. The tendons burn a serrated flame, cutting a line down into the veins as both run in place, drilling an endless circle with the frustrated pacing of a programmed movement shot off through thinking pulses like a silencer, slipping a lethal sliver into their shins. His breath is tumbling out of his mouth while his teeth almost clatter in the slight trembling hiding in the red concrete of his gums. His eye sockets struggle to keep wide, clasping onto his eyeballs like a steely vice, meditating a sharpness in their solid bone circles, striking hairline tremors of pain, lining a fish-wire smile underneath the skin of his face. His back is shifting up and down in boulder-like and bulky wings, sewn with blue flame and lava string to his backbone, severing into his arms. These lightning-fast scars that pulse in and out, throbbing a strong elation, and the broken glass of undone rage shattering the excitable beats of his heart, feeling like it's going to take flight and lift him into stormy heavens through the upward curve of his ribcage. His brain is stubborn to keep old failures, and the fisted palms outlaying the soft and sponge-like branches getting knocked around his skull as he takes 1, 2, and 3 to his forehead and jawline, letting them burn quick and hot in the branded marks of his skin that seep in through the warm blood rush running down his cheeks and falling through his throat before tainting the inside of his body with a confused happy that soaks the rhythm pulse of the racing stripes, stretching out his veins and then collapsing them back into tight, collected grid, turning the factory-style gears through the heavy steam pumps churning on the axis of his shoulder blades and knees. Even as his right arm screams the razor-sharp pain pulling at his tendons with the steel and ivory fishhooks, making him want to pull back, to take a dive and just want to fall to the ground while he lays there like some kind of rag doll close to tearing apart. He takes in the gasoline fuel, filling up his lungs, expanding out his rib sides, nearly puncturing his torso with a needlework of hell-flamed stitching, and pushes a fire out through his mouth, infuriating a battle cry into the ghosts of misery still haunting the exasperation of his tumbled and bruised guts, and knocks out his opponent, letting the other guy take the fall while he stands and watches. Each piece of failure and regret and wrongdoing still crawl through his chest and try to choke out his larynx. But he can't stop breathing. He can't stop standing with his legs bolted to the floor. He doesn't wait for the count. He just looks up to the dark, popping open in the firework of camera flashes. Soon, they'll want quotes. A washed-up figure tossed to the side of celebrity like burning trash, and on the damp and stale streets of abandoned alleyways makes a comeback, they'll say. The Golden Boys return, they'll proclaim. But when your back is turned to the past, as it tries to reach around, with a purple, dreamlike smog tempting the fate of a cynic, you realize that they'll say whatever they say. And despite how the newspapers bleeds black on white paper, with the presumptuous pride of reporters, fickle enough to make you a legend out of you one day, and forget you the next, he knows now that he's got to be a man, accepting his ghosts and letting them disappear in the dream smoke of his corrupted yet entrusting hope, needing to keep pace with his memories, balancing a hangwire between what has been and what will become of him.
All right, Lost in Love, ladies and gentlemen. Dancing very awkwardly on the stage.
Okay, so coming up next. The very next person coming up, you know his music, his six-string stranger. I don't know what to say. Coming up next, we have Derek T. Washington.
Thank you. That was a quick set, man.
Woo, that was fast.
Another chair up here. All right. This is a little ditty I've been putting together. Hope y'all dig it.
We've been holding it down for too long. It's been so long. Someone said, don't you see them? You see them. Still we're standing around next to corners. Somewhere.
Washington, everyone. That's some smoky music. All right, smoking. All right, up next. What can I say about this person? He's just magic. I could say magic is the word I used to describe, but no. Magic is the word I used to describe.
Thank you.
We cherish him, really. Coming up next, we have Magic Jack. And Iggy Stone.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and others. Are we having a good time? Yeah! I can't hear you too well. Yeah, there we go. Well, the place is loaded with talent tonight. It's just unbelievable. It's almost like last week. The place was just like busting out the door with that. So happy to have Andrew with me tonight. I think we could use some percussion though. Is there a percussionist? We got some bongos back here. Any percussionists? No? Nobody wants to own up to them.
Maybe they'll, once we get going, maybe some.
How do bongos go? Straight off from
somebody found a bongo player.
Straight off a Brazilian tour.
She's gonna give it her best shot.
Just got off the road with Santana.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, I guess.
It's an inside job. It's an inside job. Peace, love, and happiness. It's an inside job. You wanna fix it on your own, but you don't have to do it all alone. You wanna fix it on your own, but you don't have to do it all alone.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to make a technical note that Magic Jack was using a 30-year-old Crybaby by the Dunlop Corporation with a built-in fuzz control on there that I've never seen before. And it probably been sitting in your garage or wherever it was for
1979.
yeah, and it still works. Not it doesn't. It's not even staticky or anything. Impressive.
All right, Magic Jack, Andrew Stone, and guest starring Pete. Oh, and who is that?
Who was that girl?
Hi, who are you? And Christina.
You didn't recognize her? She just got off the road with Santana.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's still alive, right?
Yes.
I don't know. Okay, so coming up next is a voice we haven't heard in a long while. But, huh?
Like 2 months.
In a long while. And he's making his return up on the stage. We have Ben Clancy.
Hey. So, this is a poem that I have never shown to anybody before. So, hi guys. Or one person. So, you're the second audience. It doesn't have a title. Dude, fuck reading off iPhones also.
Yeah, fuck it.
Creatures of seasons of indecision, creatures of the broken jaw and the dream, creatures of basement apartment couch life, scale model Manhattan done in toothpicks, no sadness, no nothing, rent-free creatures who sleep for months, wake to check watches, who offer famous pseudonyms to strangers, who pen names on what they can't keep. Today, a boy dropped into the Colorado River to see if anyone would love his ghost. I drove the car under the moon through the valley. There were white seeds on the wind, and the wind never stopped. Today, the Colorado River slicked from its lips a skeleton. I drove the car to a hospital where no one was crying. Creatures of handcuffs and lubricant. Creatures of cold vices, short lives, and superego. Creatures of Chicago or Fort Lauderdale, of Terrace Vista contemplation or leaping from Terrace Vista contemplation. Creatures of infinite ex-lover fucking, impotency, of autoerotic asphyxiation, orgasm, and regret. I watched a Mexican man with tattoos cry with his forehead pressed against the 7-Eleven payphone with quarters and quarters and quarters. I stood with Brian at the corner of Cesar Chavez and 2nd on research chemicals watching children eat potato chips. I fell asleep on the J, back to Spanish Harlem with my head on Andrew's ever-receding shoulder. On the train, I dreamt of the women I'd fucked in America in August. I dreamt of the women I'd fucked in America in December. I dreamt of licking knee sweat and pubic hair bouquets, of convulsions of pleasure and convulsions of cold, of empty rooms in every temperature, vacant literatures, a little black book of names for our indiscretions, murmurs on the radio, I'm sorry is the same shit every night, burning cars on the freeway on the way home to anywhere. My same boring body souring, days and days without reading. From spring to summer 2013, there were no sheets on my mattress, and my mattress was on the floor. Creatures came and went. I dreamt of all the boys I'd been too shy to fuck in August, through December, and woke up at our stop at 4 a.m. with an erection. Roving creatures on megabuses with pro-union graffiti. Creatures of habit at the drinkers' meetings every Sunday. Christian creatures of guilt and wrath. Atheistic creatures breathing in smoke on hillsides, watching the clouds blow through soft coyote ears and level vertical rain against the downtown skyline, like the tears of widowed creatures lashing the chests of stoic and consoling creatures. Our creatures of perpetual sorrow. Our creatures of perpetual hope. I left an empty wine glass in the suburbs for the merry woman I barely kissed. I took the car past the night shift nightclubs that open at 7 a.m. and the jeering jaws of men gawking at prostitutes, talking about friends fucked out of workers' comp and exes who loved them. I took out the garbage at work under a blue angel sky, and then I took the car home. Standing in the bathroom, I died inside of the mirror. I showered myself down the drain. My dog waited outside the door for me, watching the steam seep out like watching a ghost paste.
Incredible storyteller piece by Ben Clancy.
Incredible.
Next. What's that?
Not incredible. Incredible.
Coming next. Our next person we have. Yes, he is the bullet poet.
Oh, shut me.
I know. What?
I wasn't even going for that, but it worked.
I don't know. I missed it. The boat's over there. Okay, so speeding past through all sorts of art, all sorts of artists we have. Steve. One. I'm trying to pronounce his last name. Steve Quackenbush. Right. Quickenbush. Okay. I want to do this right. Up next, we have the bullet poet himself, the incredible, the wonderful Steve Quackenbush.
Thank you very much. I have 4 new ones this evening. They're real short. She hovers near me, calling out in her pain. She feels nothing but her need, her wants, her desires. She wears her pity like a long winter's coat. What she does has no bearing. It's just what she does. But everything I do is calculated to slight her. I don't see me in her words. It's not me. The sundering is near. I feel a heavy, dull ache as I walk away from the obsession. I'm not your heroine. I'm just me. You took too much and let yourself become addicted. I'm just me. I have no power over you, and I wouldn't want it if I did. I have no power over me. I'm pushed along by time and circumstance. Heedless of your webs, they touch me and I shiver, but I'm not held. Cords can't bind the wind. I'm like the flowing water. I can't be touched twice, yet you try with all your might to control me and steer me down your little paths. From boredom and curiosity I went along, but I'm not meant for you to confine. Better to shape yourself than to try and mold me into the statue you want me to be. How sad will you be when the tide comes in and flattens out all of your hard work? I have the blues chained around my heart. It's heavy with the weight of time, and I struggle to keep my head above water. It's been there so long, the skin has grown around it, and I have no idea how to remove it. The times before it was wrapped around me are like long ago dreams of floating free, but being chained is my reality. I'm strong from the struggle, and I wouldn't know what to do if freed. Truth be told, I would sit beside them like old friends at a campfire and think of how they helped shape my life. I know nothing of the freedoms you take for granted. I long ago gave up removing these shackles. My blood flows them, a perfect symbiosis of pain and resignation. I hold them captive just as they hold on to me. I would be naked without them. They no longer pull me down as much as they keep me grounded. The flow of the waters of life can't pull me away. I'm chained to the past, held firm, but I have grown. Oh my God, I have grown. The demons that used to be so large are but as children to me now. They somehow have lost the ability to rule me with my fear. They watch jealously as I have become me in spite of me. No, I have faced my demons and saw what they look like in the light. They look just like me, but smaller and misshapen creatures. Caricatures of the me I now am. They fear me because I have looked at them in the light, where they have no power. I have become comfortable with me, and now I don't fear change because life has changed, and I don't fear living. I'm no longer obsessed with dying. I have made peace with my chains, one link at a time. I sit on my stool in the corner of my mind, watching as I apologize for making you feel some way or another. You make yourself feel this way. I'm always on the defensive, worried that I might somehow hurt your feelings once again. My cancer of self-loathing has returned. I hate the me you are trying to create, having to react instead of acting, saying I'm sorry when I don't really care. Perhaps I could spend my life caught up in your whirlwind of perceived slights, but I'm not able to muster the I'm sorry's anymore. This then is it. Your insecurities and manufactured emotions are killing me. The games are over and the turning away has begun. I can't be put through this again. Look elsewhere for your comfort and your excuse. You have a life outside of me, but I'm not allowed. I choose to live a life divorced from your perverted perception of reality. I'm not sorry. And this is the last one, sorry. Thank you. You guys are awesome. My shadow looks at me and shakes its head as if wondering who the dark one really is. I overflow this flesh vessel with a thick, oozing darkness. It creeps into my quiet time and hangs like curtains blocking this room from view. It's a cane that my crippled soul uses to beat back those that get too close. My solitude wants to be away from the questions that hang in the air. You know the answers. Why? Why ask? The same question over and over again. The answer never changes. My light is held in check by the perfect amount of dark. You only see the light, but the dark sees you. I'm no different from you, yet we are nothing alike. The deep dark water hides my secrets, but my shadow knows. It has followed me my whole life. You see the part of me you wish to see, but you ignore that other part and change the balance of my scales. You can't see the civil war fought on the battlefields of my mind. I paid the price to free myself, and you want to cage me yet again with your love and disappointment? To hell with this frown face, smiley face existence. It's a spider web, but I can't be caught in it. I'm not what you need or you wouldn't be trying to change me. Instead, change yourself. When I become what you want, who will I be? Will I recognize me? Your noose made of silk is still killing me. Thank you.
Incredible, powerful. We have Steve Quakenbush. Ingrid. All right. Up next, you know her. You love her. She's got attitude. She's got moxie. She's got changing styles. And she's got that hair. Coming up next, we have... What's your name again? We have hot tamale.
Oh, I was about to say, where's my stinger? But it's okay.
No, I was gonna do the fun one.
Oh, which one? The fun bass?
The happiest bass player in the world.
All right. Okay, so how you guys doing so far? All right, just to remind you, since none of my other co-hosts have said anything, shame on you guys, the drink specials. Mimosa, Bloody Mary, and Summer Hells, all $3. Get drunk cheaply.
See, I always think there's like
and responsibly.
I always think there's a woman back there named Mary all bloody.
Okay, you've watched way too many horror movies. Okay, so I'm gonna bring out some old shit.
Oh shit!
Thank you. I like that.
Ripe shit.
And dusty, crumbly. I just stuffed it on the ground. Shit. Okay, and this one's called Old Guitars. Heard the music you wanted to play, the feel of your guitar in your hands all day. All the time, a tune in your head, at supper, also in bed. But you had a young family to feed, the local factory filled that need. Final whistle, day at an end. Your guitar, always your friend. The years roll on, you're in a different place. Time and care imprinted on your face. Didn't think of yourself. You earned your daily bread. Worked with melodies in your head. In your head, in your fingers, the tune around you lingers. Music changed, music grew, handing down to your son what you knew. He took it and ran, played a different song. It was his, and he played it strong. More time passed, sitting in a window in June, appreciating a bird's simple tune. Racked with pain that you did revile, but on your face, still a smile, 'cause you could still hear the songs. The time came to go. Your heart willed your fingers to play, but your body said no. One has no doubt you're still playing for angels, making them smile. Just for once, I wish I had heard you play, heard you talk, but in my mind, I can hear your sleepwalk. And that poem is dedicated to Ernie B's dad, who is also incidentally called Ernie B. Alright. That's what I was checking. Alright, coming up next. This is not a new poet, is it, Lost in Thought?
No.
Alright, see, I dig new voices. The new voices that come over here, I dig them like they are dug. But we have a returning voice. Give it up for Jose!
That was me on the saxophone, by the way. No, it wasn't.
How's it going? Yeah. All right. I want to apologize. I kind of forgot my stuff. Well, a little bit of it, but I think I remember it. And it goes like this. It goes like this. Even when I dream of you at night, every time you look at me, your face has that great, beautiful smile, while your eyes always retain that doubtful, fearful fright. Yet, you may know how I look, but I know how I feel. And your heart is something I can honestly say I'm not maliciously trying to steal, but rather, I just want to win. The hope of a chance for your soul to be something that you let me try to heal. Because it's weird. How all I ever cared about was me, myself, and I. Just for all of that to change, the very second that I looked into those glorious big brown eyes, they left the hunger for your love, and that, from my soul I couldn't pry. Because if life's a picnic basket, you're the apple of my eye. And I'm not ashamed to say it, because I know it's not a lie. And that's it.
Okay, now lower it down there.
Yeah, I know.
Because then after a while the mic stands like that. Like the way it is now, see?
Yeah.
And it starts drooping like that, see?
Give it some Viagra, damn it. Is he assuming that I can't help him keep it up?
I'm helping you keep it up.
Oh my God, that's not right. All right, coming up next, we have not seen this musician in a while. Okay, you got to give him the sad face because he needs to come here more often. Give it up for Nathan Dunn.
You know it takes me an hour to get here, right?
Yeah. Your point is, it takes us 45 minutes to get here.
Stop destroying my excuses. Alright, this being a primarily poetry open mic night, I'm gonna play a song called The Best of the Worst of Me, which is very lyrically very special to me. It's pretty much about, hopefully you can figure it out, I mean the lyrics are kind of blunt, so. Expect the worst, those words create a cacophony to emphasize the agony caused by my selfish ways. I wanna go back to a time where I kept for myself, maybe a little bit less about everyone else. This is the best of the worst of me. The signs of the times in my aggressive thinking. Everything around me seems to have changed, but I've done my best to remain the same. Maybe I should just give it up. Maybe I should just grow up. Sad to say, I know the pain you're going through. I've had my time to feel it too, and I don't have advice this time. It'd be much easier if I were there by your side to wipe those tears from your eyes. This is the best of the worst of me. The sign of the times in my aggressive thinking. Everything around me seems to have changed, but I've done my best to remain the same. Maybe I should just give it up. Maybe I should just grow up. This is the best of the worst of me. A sign of the times in my aggressive thinking. Everything around me seems to have changed, but I've done my best to remain the same. Maybe I should just give it up. Maybe I should just grow up.
All right, give it up for Nathan Dunn. And he said he wasn't sure that he could play tonight because of his throat. Mm-hmm.
What,
Yeah, see, because of his throat.
Oh,
I told him, hot tea and honey and get your butt on the stage.
I thought because he had a throat.
What? Okay, you don't make any sense. All right, coming up next, we saw him Song Crash, Magic Jack earlier. And he can always bring it on this stage anytime. Give it up for Pete!
It's about that time of the evening when the wind begins to whisper. My papa told me often, if you listen to the whispers in the wind, you'll learn a whole lot more than if you listen at the noonday sun. And so what it is tonight, I bring to you good news from Whispers in the Wind. You are on schedule. You are not behind. You come to know that truth, and you will know not only where you are is not only where you are, but it's where you were meant to be. Soak that up. One other thing, when I was thinking the other night, I was listening to the whispers of the wind, and this is what I heard. Pimp, come here. Who's calling me a pimp, I thought. Pimp, come here. Who's calling me a pimp? Then it dawned on me. It hit me between the eyes. It's my muse again. Remember a few months ago when I was talking about my muse was not amused with me? When your muse calls you a pimp, you pay attention. Because this, well, why would I say my muse? You don't control the muse. It's not mine. There might be an A muse and the muse, but it's not mine. Oh, like you, I can rhyme. I can sonnet. I can even haiku. But without my muse, it's artificial. It's a plastic bell ringing. But when I've got my muse, when that muse is listening, no, when I'm listening to my muse, it sings, it rings within me. How can I tell the difference? Sometimes I cannot tell the difference. You know the difference? Sometimes I'm so hungry and needy for your attention, I believe your obligatory claps at the end when I get finished are a standing ovation. I go home at night, quiet, listening to the whispers in the wind, and I begin to see it's me pretending to be more than or less than I am. So my muse said, be where you are. The good news, my friend, I'm on schedule, and so are you. Even when I've got dropsy.
Couldn't find the right song.
All right, give it up for Pete! Woo! Okay, let's see if everybody's been paying attention. What are the drink specials? Summer Hells. Oh my God. Okay, you guys are like a totally good class.
Isn't that a song based?
That's why.
Because they're drinking.
Isn't that a song based DC Summer Hells?
Okay.
You got me. All right.
I'm not gonna do it.
All right. Coming up next, he's a variety of talent that graces the stage. Give it up for Jack Henry.
That's more like it. How are we doing tonight? I feel like that was just pity. All right. So would you like to hear a very personal poem or a funny poem making fun of another poem?
Personal.
Okay.
Why did you even ask that?
Everyone just don't pay attention to what Madeline says. All right, this is called Second Ending to First Love. Waiting. This summer and warm night is just a waiting. Blossoms hover just out of reach.
and the wind blows them all around, never towards my grasp, never into my arms. She will call, for she texted me the last time, and she never would again. Friends are frolicking down below. On a terrace, I sit and watch, waiting. And I hear the youthful cries and shrieks, water splashing, hair being dipped at the ends, and the otherwise dry heads bobbing up and down with loose bodies under the water. Such serenity, just bobbing and laughing, waiting. It seems I shall have to wait some more, but I am ready. I did mourn the passing of this love the moment I did discover it. Something in her eyes and mouth, no wonder, when she said, "I love you, I am in so love with you." Such powerful phrases, diminished by repetition, and even as I patted her head and repeated them back, I did mourn the passing. I knew I would wait. I knew she would call. I knew we would pant our despairs in the same moonlight on different sides of town. I knew she did not mean it. I knew she could not keep it. Such a fragile thing as she could never love another me. Patience brings the tide again, and eager are the sooner dead. Waiting. I know not why I wait. I'm eager for her to summon the courage to tell me what is, to tell me goodbye.
Anarchy in the UK!
You know, it's funny when I watch you guys walk back and forth. You know, you and Mike, you like kind of dip downs to
Yeah, we're like little commandos.
To not to block people's view.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing a show here one time. There's a rap artist up there singing, and it was kind of crowded in here. And this guy walks in, and he saw that people were filming and stuff. He looks at up the stage, and he looked at the people, and he kind of got nervous, and he was trying to bow down. And he crouched down and he just got on his hands and knees and then crawled across the floor. And then the artist started laughing. He was like, "What the?"
Was that the Afton show?
Yeah, it was the funniest damn thing. And like he was totally clueless. He didn't want to distract anybody, you know. So he got on his hands and knees. And then he gets up over here and walks in the back.
Meanwhile, most everybody just walks by like.
Yeah, it was funny. It was really funny. He was trying to be so polite. It was funny. Had to get that out.
All right, coming up next after that little interlude with Ernie B, who hardly ever talks at all, seriously. No. We have a returning voice, a sequel voice, part 2, The Revenge of Steve. Steve Bressler.
Hi. Well, I've got a number of poems here, and the first one is Berlin from 1973. The second is Poems and Ancient Manuscripts Are Discovered at the Dump, and the third, Bored with Death, and then A Pause in the Drought and a Gray Overcast Day. Berlin from 1973. I've been to Berlin, and now I'm by the roadway. I could look up and go there again, into the wild gray haze, clouded sky jets roaring. There's a line of concertina wire meandering over the river, and off in the distant grief, an aluminum spire. And there's the torn cathedral, and there's the green grass minefield. Down a long moment of time, footsteps quietly walking into the mist of diesel perfume. The nighttime whispers a warning. Shall I attempt an escape into the communist sector? Leap from the free zone into the fire-ridden subway tracks? Trip past the dark and rat-like fury, down the dark halls under the river's belly? The morning came and raised that long night like a flag. People were out and about, dressed in bright colors, looking over the fence to us as we to them, over the wall and the wire,
over the green grass minefield, over the wound partly mended. Poems and ancient manuscripts are discovered at the dump. To whomsoever finds these pages here, an odor spread, a dozer crushed a tub. To whomsoever finds these pages here, you'll come to know I've wept and kept the hours dribbled away, just hoping to evaporate. A blotchy name was signed so indiscernibly I couldn't read, but felt the dust and heat that rends us all. And heard some old piano crash some jangled chords, its mighty final song. Oh no, I cannot play. And anyway, had I grabbed that graceful dying instrument and lurched it into Kelly's dented truck and took it home, I'd have to give it all my life just to catch those words he'd read, hoping to evaporate. Because, you see, he'd said to me, that song ain't gone on any old inundated, dusted strings, but in your songs go and speak and sing, and keep us happy while you're here, and keep us happy, sing the prayers and damn despair. These words don't roll just anywhere. Like water drifting to the sky, I dropped those shreds but knew the words. I turned and saw the dusty man who'd sat upon that tractor seat and rode old rattling behemoth away, made our poet's life complete. Bored with death. Well, I got an idea for this poem once, a partial idea from hearing a boring old poet from up east say all poems are about death. I think he was trying to scare the lesser poets. Oh, groan, bored with death. I'm bored with death and the tall windows wrapped in Dacron. Have you seen this bird of paradise to far lands symbolize where souls fly? We ask, oh, why are you writing or drawing faces of the dead? And they're so sad of their mouth line. And the bright forehead wears such an old crown. And the small crowd gathered settles in a pastel saffron sofa with Coca-Cola and small talk of cars repaired and other relative things. We, the living, know he's had a long, hard pull, hadn't he? No mind. It's all in our own way of naming things. And the floral spray stands triple-legged metal-painted green, and the soft decor complements this gentle economy of a lifetime spent making plumbing parts and other simple things. And the styrofoam ring crushed with peach-colored satin supports bouquet of spider lilies and carnations, fake orange. And there is no thing here isn't forced into this soft, perfumed compliance, but for the telling line on his closed eyes.
Yeah.
All right, give it up for Steve Bressler. Oh, Ernie, I got it ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that is the wonderfully lucid and conscious Ernie B. All right, coming up next, dare I say, this next poet is a Renaissance man of sorts. You name it, he probably does it. Give it up for Jazz One.
Jazz One, you heard?
That's called a drop. How are you guys doing tonight? Well, if you're not doing anything Thursday, I'm playing at Chicago House. Well, it's not Chicago House, it's the Vinyl Room, which I guess was a speakeasy at one time. Because you just push through a wall, and there's a hall, then there's another bar. So yeah.
I think I've been there before, like 20 years ago, because I remember walking in the bar, walking around and saying I was in another bar. I was like, wait, I didn't leave the building. And I was in another bar.
Exactly. I performed there, did poetry there about a month ago, but this time I'll be DJing. And also, I was on a podcast last week called The Drunken Animals. We talked film and TV and somehow went up doing poetry. But I'm doing poetry tonight, y'all. When the world gives me shit, I plant roses. The way I see it, you got two choices. You can be the victim or the victor. It's up to you to choose. I refuse to lose or give an excuse. Life is short and I got shit to do. I work hard and play smart, and I work smart and play hard, and somehow, someway, I got this far. I'm a patchwork of scars, some you can see, but these scars tell a story of me. Stories of hurt, pain, and being broken, and stories of healing and being whole again. I could sing sad songs about times going wrong, but tonight, I sing my redemption song. I'm the luckiest man alive. Pops worked hard, rarely a day off, always had a caddy but didn't play golf. Mom had a Lincoln, she drove me to church to praise the God of heaven and earth. Pop said hustle, Mama said pray. Somehow, some way, I find a way. Where I'm from, Davis means resilient. We fight, we survive, we thrive. Knock us down 4 times, we get up 5. Thankful for every breath, grateful to be alive. Cause this Leo, I burned through at least 7 of my 9. My worst fear has already been realized when the love of my life took her on. The S word still cuts to the quick. I can't stop the rain, but I know the sun still shines. And I'm not sure how this ends, so I still grind. I'm the luckiest man alive. When I reflect, I see a mosaic. I remember when I was broken, collected the pieces and mixed in concrete. Under the bright lights I tend to shine. Those who get close find jagged edges. I'm a work in progress, one day a masterpiece. I didn't live through nightmares to sleep through dreams. Thank you guys. I'm Jazz 1.
Okay, wait, Jazz, this is for you. Wait.
Jazz 1, you heard?
I'm sorry, that's just full of attitude. I love it. Okay, and you know me, I always have, I'm an attention whore, so I have to be up here and just calling attention to myself.
Minus the attention.
Shut up. Alright, coming up next, we have yet another poet. God, I tell you that the list, it just keeps going on, and I love it because it's a whole lot better than... Yes, and we love staying busy here. And don't forget to go over to Becca for the drinks. We got mimosa, Bloody Mary, and the Summer Hells. I can vouch for the Bloody Mary. I have tasted it. It is very yummy. It's a great way to get your lycopenes and your vodka. Coming up next, we have Anna.
This is new shit.
Alright, it's called Look Me in the Eyes. I was told that I've got obligations to keep, that I was born to be the school board's sheep, but let me tell you something, sweetie. I ain't that cheap. Do I look like I can't take that leap? I won't do somebody else's job from 9 to 5, because that program ain't on my hard drive. It's for humanity and love that I strive, and in spite of these rules and chains that I thrive. I'm expected to make my oath to society that I will live my life within their propriety and silence everything but my fake piety. No wonder we all live in unrelenting anxiety. Nobody has ever been born to hate. I guess I was taught how to a tad too late. What we're taught ain't a human trait. Only you and I can set the world straight. I say it's time to end this masquerade and set fire to the stains and call the brigade. End the world of paychecks and grades. It's time to realize we've all been played. Your face ain't nothing but a mask you were born to wear, and the gods of fate shall hear my prayer. The open roads ahead I promise to share. This is the only oath that I will swear.
All right, give it up for Anna. And our very confused OCD engineer, Ernie B.
Well, a function came up that I never saw before. It said clear all. And I said, I don't want to hit that button. So I was a little...
So instead you hit play.
I was a bit perplexed, yes.
Uh-huh. All right, coming up next, you know her, you love her. Give it up for Susan Summers!
I want to give a short plug for something, an event that's coming to town August 9th and 10th. The Osmic Expo is going to be at the Palmer Event Center. It's a really big deal. Poetry is a small part of it. There's organic gardening, there's Boys and Girls Club, there's venues, or not venues, but what do you call them? Businesses with booths and things to give away. It's going to be really great. All about generating peace and working together in cooperation. Going to be fabulous. August 9th and 10th, Palmer Event Center, be there. All right, 2 points. One really short and one medium. This one is peaceful hearts are green. Red anger bubbling like blood from a wounded heart. The flushed fiery crimson from dilated blue blood damaged vessels and pale white skin stretched into roadmap lines around black eyes revealing a bottomless pit of pain. But green like an expanding meadow is the color for hearts keeping tick-tock time with peace waves like clear blue streams reflecting golden sunlight medicine, making white auras shimmer as a prism makes rainbows. Yeah, you can tell it's the first time I read that one. All right. And this one is I Know Who You Are. The man you see in the mirror is not who I see or who I know you to be. You have forgotten who you are. You've lost your legacy. African pirates, Scottish rebels, hillbillies, revolutionaries came before you. No wonder you scream and yell. You were born into heaven and you've seen your share of hell. Revolutionary wars were fought and won by your great-great-grandfathers and their sons. You've become defined by the choices you make and by choosing love over anger and hate, by letting go of the lives of your past, to quit lying and take off that mask. Ghetto gangster, tough guy, what are you trying to sell? I know you better than you know yourself. You're better and stronger. You've been through tough times. Embrace them no longer. Life is endurance, not a race. Patience pays. Wait to see what's to come and quit reacting to what's in your face. Choose new every day to find a better way, to exorcise those demons and send them back to hell, and remember your grandfather and the stories he would tell. Remember who you are, who you were born to be strong, be gentle, to have more, be free. There is great power in a kind heart, healing and strength in soft words. Frightened people are weak and tear down instead of build. Being gentle is a force field shield. True heroes put others ahead of themselves and lead with integrity. Thugs take with force and greed only feeds their fears and their need. Violence is self-hatred turned out. Peace is self-love fully expressed. Embrace the light and shadows flee. Learn who you are so you can be free. The best is to come and maybe the worst, but whatever happens, put faith first.
All right, get up for Susan Summers. Oh, are you setting up? Oh, okay.
He's reprocessing the bongos.
Thank you, Nathan. Please keep coming back. I'll bug you on Facebook if you don't.
You said he'll try.
Yes, I know.
We can send a private helicopter to go get him.
Yeah. Okay, do it. How do you do it?
I need a chain necklace. We're above the freeway here, about to pick up Nathan Dunn. See, it doesn't work without the chain.
Okay. All right. See, this right here is one of my gifts from Tom Moon. He always gives me, every time he comes in, I'm like, where's my swag? Give me my swag. He's giving me beads, balloons, eggs, you name it. I mean, on my birthday, I got this long tinsel. I still have it hanging in my room. This long tinsel, what do you call it, that goes around your Christmas tree. But it's huge. It's like about 10 feet long. And yes, it's still in my room. But one thing I wanted to show you is right here. Here is a story, Demi and Bruce's kids, drugs, arrests, and dangerous sex. I mean...
So they're normal, in other words.
Yeah, basically. You know, but see, the thing is that too many people, and this is my own 2 cents, too many people are becoming famous just for the sake of being famous. Kardashians, these kids, Paris Hilton. I mean, they don't really do anything. They don't contribute, and we turn them into royalty. So, in my opinion, I think the artists should take over the world. The artists, the poets, the musicians, the ones that actually bust their ass to bring their craft, as opposed to these spoiled brats here.
Do they have like a show or anything like the Kardashians?
No, they don't.
Okay.
But see, you know what's weird is all these girls look like Bruce. That's just sad. If you want to look at him, it's sitting next to my.
What was his name on Die Hard?
I don't know. What was
McClane.
What was Bruce Willis's name on Die Hard?
McClane.
I just saw
John McClane. There you go.
I just saw the long-suffering wife. What was her name?
Demi Moore.
No, on the movie. Yeah, Demi Moore. Does she look like she's suffering? Anyway, coming up next, are you a new voice? I just want to make sure. She is, okay, good. She is not a new voice. She is a sequel voice. Give it up for Christina.
I've been here for years. So I'll read a couple of pretty short ones. All right. And I picked these two because they start with the same 2 words. One's a little happier and hopeful than the other. And so words have stingers, stuck and indented by crowded white teeth, pulsing and beating, but too weak to break free. This inmate percussing on its pearly prison bars in a dour way of speaking, finding only roofs and jaws. She is surrounded by chatter from everyone who speaks, chirping mirth and laughter at a cricket's nocturnal speed, clenching, still indenting, drawing blood for what cannot be said, drawing wisdom from the distress as words fill her busy head. Like bees, stinging for release, the pollen of their sage-like words gives fire to her belief that verbs and nouns bloom petals and thorns on a tiger lily in her mouth that is meant just for her. The petals and blooms are for her to grow and her to choose, to poison or prune at her own pace, or to simply just refuse. With open eyes and padlocked lips, never speaking out of turn or buzzing in disgrace, she revels in her silence, in her taciturn strength. Thank you. So, the next one, a little less hopeful, but I like it. And so there is proof that the world needs gray. It is this shade, this mere absence of color, that allows the brightest ones to shine. I find comfort being cloaked in gray until that moment I am reminded I was as vibrant as any red. Fire engines could not compare. Despite being forgotten by the entire world, I still knew I existed and I was not done living. Now I wonder, are my vibrant days behind me? Am I so forgettable that I could shrink down so small and fall into the crack of an anthill? Maybe I am nothing more than an ant, a tiny gray thing. Maybe I'm so thick with gray that the only way I can become alive is to credit myself with every drama imaginable. Been told that I can make a big deal of small things, that my problems are just in my head, that they don't matter. If only I could control my emotions. Is it control I should strive for, or a release? An absence of emotion and gray where my blood should be? Either way, no one is looking, and this is probably for the best.
ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for doing a great show again. Thanks for coming out.
Are we having a good time, ladies and gentlemen? We must be, because Tom is still here. He hasn't snuck out yet. He's a complicated man.
It's like he analyzes the whole room and he sees that it's going good and he's out of here.
He's a complicated man,
the vibe.
but no one understands him but his poems. Tom Shaft. Tom Moon.
Oh, wait, no, I gotta go.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
But I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about Tom.
We can dig it.
But we can dig it.
Shut your mouth.
But I was talking about Tom.
I like the way he's like, but I was talking about
Tom.
Anyway.
I heard the first time I heard this song, and I heard Isaac Hayes cuss. When you're like 7 or 8 years old and you hear people cuss on the radio, you're laughing your ass off because you think you're like you've been involved in some secret thing or whatever. Damn right. We like, they cursed on the radio, their mama's gonna whoop them. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the next poet coming up to the stage. This poet is so amazing that she in fact has no idea that she's next.
Excellent.
However, by the time I'm done saying this sentence, she might have an inkling that I'm going to call her, which may in fact cause a small grin to slide across her face while she hammers away dutifully at her small laptop and reaches dutifully inside her purse for her notebook. Alas, she has been alerted to my clever ruse, or as the Greek would say, ruse. I can't back that up. That didn't even sound Greek. Give it up for Jewel, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage.
So this is another new one.
New shit.
There's a group of poets that are kind of getting together and trying to work on some things that we feel could be changed in society. And one of the big issues is police brutality against people who are not mentally 100% there.
Yeah.
So we sat around this afternoon and did a writing lab, and this is what came out of that. Everyone snaps. But when you live in a fog, when your life is constant echoes, voices distract, screaming for your attention. Reality is blurred. Pain overwhelms. Self-medication becomes a daily addiction. Poverty breeds this psychosis, nurtures the panic. Pharmaceuticals, government regulations, corporate greed all prevent healing. It's because finances dictate what guidance is available. Assistance is only for the wealthy. The rest are cattle, culled by society. These helpless humans sink deeper into confusion. Shouting authority figures sound distorted above the cadence of their disease. A society filled with dis-ease, dependent on money, steps on, steps over, ignores the needs of these souls. Families are left in crisis. Mothers are left crying. Stability is a distant dream. As confusion releases screams, people bellowing for help, their deep guttural cries go unheeded. Retaliation replaces reason. An epidemic of turmoil clouds the signs and symptoms. Trembling hands reach out for help. They receive tasers and bullets in place of guidance. The path of the uninsured leads to death. Broken minds, traumatized spirits, stuck in unhealthy environments, communities lacking advocates sink deeper into debt as citizens' lives shatter. This earthquake sends tremors through families, rocking foundations. No one is left on solid footing. Family and friends bound by love seek assistance but are silenced by systemic failures. Stand up and fight. We can nourish and grow beyond circumstance. Recognizing the crisis is not enough. We must stand together, unite, support, and educate.
Yes!
it up one more time for Jules, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and coming up next to the stage, this man is several meters taller than me. And that's not just speaking as far as his physical height. This man has a soul that makes him 8 feet tall. Which means his guitar is by no means indicative of the size of his soul. There's a lot of power he channels. Ladies and gentlemen, he's so badass that I gotta use my cool bluesy voice. Ladies and gentlemen, go on and put your hands together for the man they call Jack Henry.
Jack Henry!
Hey guys, hey, hi, what's up? Hello, that's a good place to start, right? So my name is Candace, and I like moonlit strolls and anal.
Go!
Okay, this is a song I wrote, and it goes like this. That was a really bad way to do that, but...
Welcome back to the porch, I have your beer. It's a little warmer now, but now you're here. This rain is pretty rain, and I forgot your name. I'll remember if you write it with a heart. Above 7 digits on the back of your friend's business card. This party's pretty lame. I can tell you think the same, so let's just walk and talk. We'll call it a you thing in the night until we're married in a park. Then we'll be olding in the day. Come back to me. I'm so sorry. Come back to me. Every now and then there's someone new, and I feel about them how I feel about you. It's a problem with my heart. It doesn't stop and start, just beats so slow. And as it beats, these feelings grow until we're married in a park. That's what I say that makes you go. Come back to me. I'm so sorry. Come back to me. Oh, 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 oh. You don't have to go. Oh, oh, oh. You don't have to go. Oh, oh, oh. You don't have to go. When I read that letter that you wrote me, when I read that letter that you wrote me, when I read that letter that you wrote me, when I read that letter that you wrote me. Oh, 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 oh.
His name is Jack Henry, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise.
Every time I hear or one of y'all announce him, I think somebody's gonna say Jack Hanna, and Jack Hanna's gonna walk in with like a
snake,
an iguana or something,
I get tempted to say Jack Daniels and grab a glass and go find some quiet time. Shout out to Jack Daniels.
Right here, right here.
Jack Daniels. Shout out to Jack Daniels. Okay. All right. Let me see. So are we having a good time, ladies and gentlemen? All right. So I think what we need to do is we need to wonder why there's a balloon all over the damn floor. Don't kick the, now that's happening. And then now you're gonna do that. Go, are you gonna pop it? And that's happening. David Lester Young, would you like to come up here and read a poem, good sir? David Lester Young, ladies and gentlemen, please.
Look, she's with balloons.
This is an off-take to the poem that I did earlier. Somebody said that I should take it into song lyrics. This is very rough and needs a lot of work. But I was trying to work with the lamination and a few things. Room 407, Austin Blues. I've been laminated to those room 407 blues, merging into off-white whales in walls closing in on one's dreams. Upon reaching those lavish plastic lamination upgrade hues, been laid off, fired, downside, in wearing those deep down termination room 407 blues, where heartstring scars quiver in American waiting line lost dreams. My home has been censured, my words have been censored, even been terminated for poetry. Yeah, I have those pulsating room 407 moody blues, sad misty eyes. Been laid off, fired, downsized, in wearing those deep down termination room 407 blues, where heartstring stars quiver in American waiting line lost dreams. Layer after layer, they peel away hope. They strip one stark naked. Then they laminate hope into those homeless feelings that dish out those waiting line blues, watching the dominoes fall. Rat-tat-tap, wails the laminate renovations, vibrating those 407 blues. Bugle tap blues. Feeling that new American lamination price in credit card, laminate room 407 blues dues. Ooh, I'm feeling so blue.
David Lester Young, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise, please. All right, and coming up next to the stage, she is a woman of many talents and much awesomeness. Please clap your hands for Miss Madeline coming to the stage.
Thank you, Ernie. A little gratuitous.
It's cheaper than a live band, you know.
Let's see. So I wrote this about a year ago, and it's kind of new in that way because old poems can revive themselves if you shed it off,
you know, whatever.
Revive shit.
Yeah, there you go. It's Lazarus. All right. Happiness is a warm gun. Who knows? And then you drive back hungrily into sleep with your jaws and try to add him back into the slumber that had become accustomed to you. It was good because after the party I felt like crying for some reason, for being left out, for being tired and amazed, wishing someday I could be known so well. So I snuggled my awe back into the pocket, crushed tight against this old familial soul by waves from out a current I had not foreseen. I'd never seen a wild horse before. I could imagine his desperate plight to fly the sky above him and be flung through astral hoops into a newer storm churning tritely, stick to stars burning brightly. I'm a filly, burrowed and bird and knock-kneed, año del serpiente, no me importaba nada en esos días. The difference between these classes of armchair scientists is passive fascination and making nuclear reactors out of turtle colonies. You pick up the feeling of the general populace like bean sprouts beneath your feet. Riding never becomes easier if you're still sleeping places with Wi-Fi. There are many things about traveling, becoming acquainted with being alone. Not everyone uses conditioner, but if you're lurking around San Marcos and Austin, then people will either smoke weed or cigarettes, and are equally as generous with their beds as with their bowls, because both last the duration of the night and mean their company will stick around. Gas is always only getting lower, so take advantage of free food. And sex is a great reason to mooch a sleepover, but only if you won't regret it when you're sober. If you're sober and already experiencing regret, you must be sleepy. And oftentimes you feel the most alone. The time you feel the most alone is when you have the most people around you, because you begin to forget what a real friend feels like when the whole town is your savior. This feeling usually happens the next morning as you gather your things after sampling the fruits and goo out of every bottle in the bathroom and say goodbye. And you really are grateful, but mostly you hope you'll be allowed back again. You realize this because you don't ask your real friends if you could stay the night. It's a feminist economy. I will indulge your wandering eye to maintain my wild Philly life, because the only stable thing in my life is my eye fixed upon the highest rising westerly pinprick peak in the sky. Some people fall in love. Some people do not know how to fling themselves from their warm back perch into the tumbly, icy nothing, one abandonment below. Some people fall in love with San Marcos and its wood-beamed, hemp-clothed, and cigarette-butt-bemarked coffee shop life, and its few chances to feel rebellious, familial, and both at once sells more coffee. Most everyone wants to go to Cancun, but I speak Spanish, and I'd rather eat mole with a greasy mustache licking my way. There are many things about traveling. Matt is well-traveled. I wish a little better, for I wish a little with me. I'm convinced we must be merely the same people with different faces and different upbringings, for our constitution to turn and thwart the currents that cut our corners is all too similar, uncanny, and instant. And I think I liked when we woke up. Another thing about traveling is the way you fall in consecutive love seamlessly to justify the pressures of your plight. But it hurts worse because there is no lubricant for love, even if it's not real. Even if it's not real. Real, true love. And those are just the lyrics you sing alone in your car to drown out the aches of bags under your eyes. Lots of things about traveling. Another thing is that you must adhere to everyone's sleep schedule but your own, because most people work, and sometimes they have arbitrarily early waking hours. Fuck Alex.
Give it up for Madeline one more time, ladies and gentlemen.
you ever seen people with the same faces, but they were different people? They're like a splitting image of a friend you know, but it's a different person.
Not until after the Jack Daniels. Not until after the first 2 or 3 shots. Can I see Andrew Stone and Derek T. Washington up on the stage, please?
It's like they're in trouble or something.
To the office.
Andrew Stone and Derek T. to the office,
Use
please.
their middle names.
Huh?
Use their middle names, then they're in trouble.
It's tangled around the. Jeez, let's go. Okay.
I promise you that you will claim this armor from my dead body and not a moment sooner. I've begged for God to close this heart, eliminate the weight so that I can finally move. I'm no longer convinced that love is elevation, just a diversion. A sugar-coated subversion meant to cause you pause and nothing more. I've gotten tired of buying lies. That is why you don't see me in the store anymore. I spend my nights and morning of a time when I've cherished my days. There is no solace in the feel of the sun on my skin. Even as I breathe, I asphyxiate. Suffocating in the oxygen, I have wasted away in starvation with my belly full. I have endured long-term injuries from the effects of improper emotional allocation, i.e. the misreciprocation of affection resulting from an addiction to addiction, and I can no longer succumb. No longer numb to all the shallow obligations. It's better to die a lonely man as opposed to taking up the wrong hand so effective immediately. I hereby tender my resignation to love. This heart, structurally unsound, uninhabitable, so there will no longer be any vacancies. So to those who love your charity cases, leave me be. Quit looking, because to be honest, you don't even find me attractive, just cute. Code for too damn scared to go for what you really want. Leave me in the rummage. I need not the half-hearted, self-serving attempts to salvage this savage into something you could manage to like. I need to sever the malignant tumor that is my self-pity and finally adhere to some purpose. I've been convinced that anyone who wants in only wants to turn you out and walk away with what they wanted, leaving my house haunted with the ghost of who I thought you were. Again, I don't doubt love. I just rarely see it occur, and I have neither the time or the patience to slay your dragons, chase your unicorns, leave all the needles in the haystacks. I'm not grabbing that brass ring with you, wherever you are, whoever you are, but I do wish you well. I won't tell you love ain't heaven, but I will make note that it and hell got the same number of letters, and I should have known better. Ignored all the representatives, the crescent-shaped harbinger beneath me, hope flavored hindrance with a slight bit of deliverance. Impossible to hold them responsible, as you don't get to be a victim after the first bite. You can't blame them if I accepted the invite. Laid back for the long kiss goodnight that left me a dead man walking. So thank you, but no thank you. Keep walking. What I want is not waiting in someone else's hands. I bear no hatred towards women, and no, I do not want a man. I won't tell you not to love. Just right now, I am not a fan. You see what I want, and don't expect you to understand. See, your comprehension is not on my list of demands, so please return to your vessel. Hoist your anchor. Set sail and leave me be. Here on my shore. I can see so very clearly, having pulled the wool away. Now cognizant of all the windmills that I once chose to slay, what dreams I have had have left me, and all of them gone to stay. I decided I would write another love poem. Then I realized I have nothing to say. Clap everything next to someone beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for Mr. Andrew Stone and Mr. Derek T. Washington.
So good.
Mr. Derek T. Washington and Mr. Andrew Stone, make some noise one more time, ladies and gentlemen, please. All right, so let me see. So we're about to. It's getting pretty cold. Are y'all been having a good time, ladies and gentlemen? Don't just say that shit because we cool. Are we having a good time, ladies and gentlemen? All right, all right, all right. So like I said, what we love about our spot is that it's not our spot. It's basically yours. As soon as you walk through that door for the first time, this all became yours from 7 to 10. This is your place to go when you need some place to go chill. Everybody knows your name, all that crap. You know the TV show. They got the little jingle, the little song, Friends. Anybody, so it's just me. I'm that old. Aged. Right now, cheered. That's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's not really at all. The words are clearly different. They are. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ben coming up to the stage.
So you got to dance or something?
Yeah, that's the best I can do. So my name is Benjamin Clancy. It's Ben. My name is Ben, if you want to know me. But so, two things before I read what I'm going to read. So the first thing is that I run a literary magazine called Red Throat House that just kicked off this month. If you are interested in submitting to such a thing and being part in something, like part of what we do is we try very hard to match up artists with other artists in the Austin music scene or in the Austin art scene. Like it's like a poetry, visual arts, music conglomeration thing. So we're really interested in having people work together and trying to make that happen. So redthroathouse.com, like do it. Like a lot of you guys are super fucking good and I would love to have you guys like be part of this. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that what I'm about to read is a piece that got published on a website called Everyday Genius, and the piece that I'm about to read is in response to a piece of artwork by an artist named Samantha Conlin, and I would feel remiss if I didn't like shout her out when I read this, and also like look at the piece. It's beautiful. If you go to everydaygenius.com, like you can find what I'm about to read in response to this, and just like I would feel really shitty if I read something that was responding to another artist's artwork without you guys seeing it, right? So that's where you can find it if you want to see it. Okay, so here it goes. Good morning. The weather is sick. Don't open your eyes. Stay in bed and keep the windows drawn. I'm a smooth stone in your sink. I have gray elephant skin. The water runs over me in shining curls like balloon ribbons. I am dead below your window like a sparrow. I am a set of old guitar strings belonging to the man who made you pregnant. I am your stomach, cool, flat, and empty. I am a million miles away from you and all of your experiences with grief. I fling my love at you like something I want to get rid of. I pack our love up in a vintage suitcase, worn in some places, the leather alligator green. I drop it into a river where you can see straight through to the bottom, and the current is fast, and in some places, white and frothy. You can tell how cold the river is by looking at the air right above it. The river is almost freezing. The suitcase makes a noise like a tree branch snapping as it splits the surface tension into hyacinth blooms. You are still sleeping, but when you wake up, you will want me gone. I step into your shower. I note the brand names of your various soaps and conditioners. I note the small spider of hair stuck to your tidal wall. The water runs over me in shining curls like balloon ribbons. I try to believe that my body can repel all of this water. Under my skin, there are roots and roots that soak up moisture, gorging themselves. They exist to keep my flesh from eroding and sliding off of my bones. When I am clean, I stand in the hot cloud of the bathroom in front of the mirror. There's nothing I can think of to write in the steam. As I dress like someone who exists to keep you from sliding off the face of the earth. The space outside of the spaces we inhabit together are shoddy paths that skirt cliff sides. These paths long to fall down the mountain space. When we cease to need anything but ourselves, we become merciless. When I think of you, I see a vintage suitcase, worn in some places, the leather alligator green. Every night, I search for the doorway between your breasts that would lead out of your apartment into the future. My tongue was a key at first, but its special ridges rub smooth. Now I speak with a knife that is much too dull to kill you. You are a wolf, and I am a lamb, but I'm also the wolf's teeth. Every morning before you wake, a pair of hands opens a window and lets in pictures and pictures of light. You do not want to look out the window, but the hands take you by the hair and the neck and force your head across the threshold. The hands know you can't keep your eyes shut forever. Every morning you awake into a world where I'm closing the door softly behind me so I don't wake you into a world where I'm closing the door softly behind me. I had a dream that you gave a name to each passing moment of my life. As I blew forward in time, your lips could not move rapidly enough to keep pace. Your jaw grew weak, your tongue chapped, your vocal cords cracked like a tea kettle. Years after I died, you finally ran out of names. I woke up and the weather was sick. I would have stayed in bed. I would have kept the windows drawn. I would have broken your patience.
His name is Ben. Give it up one more time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so
I want to correct you on one thing. When you said that this is their house from 7 to 10, it's their house from 7 to whenever, as long as they keep the cash register ringing.
Yeah, as long as, yes, exactly what Ernie B just said. Buy stuff.
Do you want to say?
While you're here, it's very important that you buy stuff.
You want to stay later?
That is to be purchased.
Keep buying stuff.
And we got to remember to not only buy stuff, but buy stuff so that the barista has a reason to stay here as opposed to being here all night.
And don't order 12 glasses of water.
Don't order 12 glasses.
Don't be that guy,
Don't
girl,
be that person. And just don't be that person. All right, so in the interest of time, again, buy some stuff before she shuts the register down. Tip your barista in a way that says, I have money and I don't want to have it anymore, so you should. Because that's just giving. Caring is sharing. Yeah, caring is sharing. Shout out to the barista. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and shut this thing down. And I can think of no better way to do it but to summon the forces that combine to create and converge and make up a very awesome dude with a yellow shirt and a cool hat. I'm talking about Tom Moonbird coming to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen.
My bigger heart. Yeah, my heart goes out to you. That's beautiful. Come on out there, Dad. We got an extra microphone. Beautiful thing is, you may not know it, but you're part of the book of the evening. It's a unique publication. It's been published in the air this evening. A lot of people think you need physical reminders of the actual genius that you've imbibed in. The fact is, you have a memory. And as well as having a memory, you have a creative genius. As well as having creative genius, you have a facility for actually lasting the evening. You've been here from the beginning, haven't you? And that was 3.5 hours ago. For those people who've been here from the beginning, please know that you haven't been here from the beginning. This beginning began so long ago. There was once, believe it or not, two kick butts, one in a triangle, one here. High red, Strober Mountain, suddenly there's only us here. It's expanding, I know you'll be back. Here we go. Story begins with a chapter for you who've just come in. Chapter for him because he's got a microphone. Chapter for every one of us because this moment is precious and unique and you know it's never going to come again. They say we're closing down the evening, but I believe beginning is beginning. I feel your courage building. You've been found in a coffee shop where presumption is you really want to be free to speak your dream visions. You're not the only ones who dream and come, and that's alright, that microphone is waiting for every one of us who wish to be inviting, participating in the sacred and profane ceremony of being. By virtue of your heartbeat, by virtue of your pulse and life, by virtue of your presence here tonight, you make it all alright. I don't mean cliche, I really mean alright. Now some of you know, when the show gets dull and boring, I simply float away. It's called a Tom Ninja. But recently I've been attracted to the ceremony, to the end of the evening. I'm not the only one addicted to free speech. I see you watching, breathing in the same air as me. And suddenly we realize we're amongst wonderful company, levitating, dreaming in the evening. They say that we're closing down the evening of spoken and heard. It's not true, Steve. We're all addicted, so we'll be here next Sunday. That's the word, your word. Now even if you've been quiet all evening, simply imbibing the plumage of other birds foreign to your perception, well, don't you know, this is soon apparent on everyone else's visual and audible reception. They can hear us, they can see us, not just the NSA, CIA, FBI, APD, no. Every sentient being in the whole multiverse is tuning in to spoken and heard. Live on the internet, but live in this room. The vibration sends out to dispel their gloom. No grey, 50 shades of grey, no 50 shades of yellow. Sunshine yellow, solar power, yeah! 50 shades of make it up as you go along. Your life is improvised like a song, you better enjoy it. It's the only one you got in the moment. But you knew all this all along, and that's why you came along to make this a communal song. That's right, your silence is part of it. The orchestra of your heartbeats is flaming, burning like a soupy smile, yeah. So all you roomies in the room, and all you happies and happier too, you mystical souffles of 2014, we're so glad that you are you, cause no one else would ever do what you are brave enough to do. They say we're closing in the evening. That's not the truth, just beginning. And when you find yourself the door of another open mic and open heart, you'll say, I was there the evening. My open eyes and dreams and visions, part of that Sunday night where we were all communing in the same air with the same wings, and different dreams and visions came true because they came from not just me, but every one of you. I stole your dreams, it's true. We're all wanting something more, something better than what has gone before. That's why the old poetry's thrown out the old doors. And in comes a new invented by you, made up on the spot, cause that's your true love. The evening is as temporary as our breathing.
Unlimited, Mr. Jack Henry, Mr. Andrew Stone, Mr. Derek T. Washington. Make some noise for the Airport Boulevard experience, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, please. Okay, so I forgot to mention that one of our artists that you heard tonight, Mr. Andrew Stone, has a CD available for you. How much is it?
$8, 8 songs.
About only $8.
It's usually like $800, but
it's
tonight.
usually $800, but it's a discount tonight of I don't know what percent because I don't use math. I use words.
A bunch of percent.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. Purchase Andrew Stone CD because you need it in your life. He takes cards and he gives them back. If you buy Andrew Stone CD, then the poem you heard me do, you can have my CD for whatever because I forgot the price of it. And like I said, I don't need numbers because I love words. And
that was the math thing you were
exactly.
talking about, yeah.
He likes big words and he cannot lie.
1 + 3 is Nebraska. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and shut things down, ladies and gentlemen, so our barista can go home. Give it up for Becca. Give it up for our barista, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. Clap all you want to, but nothing says applause like tipping. Get from behind me, Mike, right now.
Oh, watch where you put that cord. God dang.
I thought he was doing something creepy behind me.
I might like it. Oh.
Almost flashbacks.
Ninja!
Not too many ninjas with bright yellow.
Dare we shut it down?
Yes.
Dare we? We shall dare. You have been witness to the baddest open mic in the ATX, spoken and heard live every Sunday night at Kick Butt Coffee, Music, and Booze. It is not just an open mic, it is a show. And it is not a show without each and every one of you. Thank